Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. It is day 4 of the 5-day inner peace immersion, which means to saturate yourself, to really dive in. So let me do a quick check-in. How is everyone doing? Did you get the handout? Are you doing the take fives? Let me know. Just post a comment in the comment box so I can see. And who's with us here this morning? I'm getting lots of emails from folks. I just want to see who's in this virtual room with us. And can you hear me okay? Because I notice. Yes, mostly. Okay, cool. Thank you, Shaddai. I know that we're all so busy, and it's so important for us to have these tools so that we can navigate these times with equanimity and equipoise, two of my favorite words. For anyone who's worked with me for a while, you know I love those words. The opportunity to really create, to reset your inner thermostat. So right now, in this moment, let's yeah, I get it. Thank you both for responding and for being here. So let's just take a moment and tune in. And as we did the other day, exhale first and imagine that you are pressing your navel against your spine. And now inhale through your nose. Allowing that breath to rise up for the count of 7. Holding it for the count of 7. Drawing in a little more air. Holding that for the count of 7. And then through open lips, like you're blowing dust off a countertop, just to the count of 8, pressing your navel against your spine with the last little bit of the breath. Inhale. Notice how much fuller that breath is when you inhale. Drawing in the air, holding that for 7. Slowly exhaling to 8. One more time. Allowing that breath to rise up, count of 7. Holding it for the count of 7. Drawing in more air, holding that. Slowly exhaling to the count of 8. Just bringing your awareness into your heart. Resting there for just a few seconds. Allowing your breath to return to its natural pace for you. Allowing your mind to empty any thoughts of what was or what will be. Just allow them to float on through your awareness like they're white, fluffy clouds. Just don't attach to anything. Simply be in the breathing in and the breathing out. Notice any sensations in your body. Just notice. There's nothing you need to do. and how grateful I am for this new day, how grateful I am for this beautiful next session of the Sowing Seeds of Peace, how grateful I am for the ground upon which I stand, this hallowed, holy ground connects me to this Mama Earth, this great, embracing force that is alive. Grateful in this moment for each and every person who said yes to being here this morning, to meeting in the heart, to stepping away from the outer world and all of its events and circumstances and personalities, just allowing everything to fall away. And recognizing in this moment of surrender that there is a presence beyond anything I can see, taste, yet I can feel into this presence, feeling it surrounding me, this great, grand, and glorious presence that is everywhere in its fullness, that is called many names in many languages, millions of them, and answers to them all. For this presence is omnipresent, omniactive, omniscient, omnipotent, everywhere in its fullness, no place, no space, no spot where this presence is not. It is everywhere. Just like a mother's love, it is everywhere, always giving more of itself. And I know that I'm one with this presence. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know it to be the truth of each and every person here, right where they are, this presence is, enveloping them, holding them, loving them, leading them, guiding them from this unified field of oneness. I just simply declare that this time together is healing, uplifting, up-leveling, transforming, and liberating. And for this and so much more, I am very grateful and thankful. And so it is. Yesterday, we spoke very briefly about the power of intention. So I just invite you in this moment to just set an intention for today's time. What would you like to leave this time together with? What quality? What would you like to have happen? What would you like to experience? Just set that tone. And when you have that, write it in your workbook. And if you're willing, put it in the comments. My intention is. My intention is. My intention is. My intention. That's my intention. I'll just wait to see if anybody puts anything in. Intention is such a powerful tool because when you're moving through your day and you have a busy day or you deal with a lot of personalities, it's so helpful to have this intention as a guidepost. Beautiful. Yes, and so it is. It is just a really helpful tool. So when you go through your day, and as we talked about, because you're in the traffic of life, the comings and goings, lovely. Because you're in the traffic of life, there's going to be moments, you're going to notice things. And that's the beauty of an intention. Because when you notice that you're deviating, right? So you have this intention, I'm going to reveal more love and more truth everywhere I go. And then you walk out, or you're in the car, you're driving somewhere, or something happens, and all of a sudden you can feel there might be a reaction. We talked about respondability, but there might be a moment. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And that whole idea of overwhelming. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but I used to find myself taking on everything all at once. I want to change this and I want to transform that and I want to create change over here and I want to do this over there. And then before I got out of my meditation, I'd be in meditation, centering down, just feeling myself connected to the universe. All good, all good. And then either I got a text or, something needed to take care of, like when my little girl, when my daughter was a little girl and there were things that needed to be done. She didn't want to brush her teeth. She didn't want to put her socks on or her shoes, which was actually really okay with me. But you know what I'm saying? Something happens. When I have my intention, I get to go back, right? Because it's what do you do when no one is watching? That's the real, test of spiritual practice, which is not about spiritual perfection. It's about practice. And remember, I said it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you pick yourself up. So as we've moved through the past 3 days, we did the power of pause, then we did embrace, and yesterday we explored anger. How was that for you? Freedom, permission to feel your feelings. Was that helpful for you? I would love to hear if that was helpful for you all in having an opportunity to feel your feelings and to have an understanding of the distinctions between anger and rage. You have that opportunity because underneath anger, oh, thank you, Carol. Underneath anger is sadness, sometimes hurt, disappointment, a sense of hopelessness. It's never going to change. I'm never going to change. They're never going to change. How can I get out of this situation? What am I going to do? Now, you may not be there in this moment, but oh, good. I'm so glad. That's wonderful. You may not be there in this moment, but I have. I've been there. I absolutely know what that's like. And so to have these tools to remember that underneath the anger is the disappointment, the hurt, the letdown. If there's even sometimes, now I want to tell you that I'm talking on a couple different levels. I'm talking from a spiritual perspective and I'm speaking from also a very emotional perspective, because I don't think the two are separate. And it's important to know that you can have your feelings. Feelings aren't facts. Feelings are based on what you've experienced in the past and the fear that they're going to happen today again in the unknown, right? You've heard that free-floating anxiety. So when you recognize that underneath the anger is hurt, is sadness, is disappointment, frustration, powerlessness, then you can minister to yourself. You can soothe yourself. When I first not only became a parent, but when I first started doing the work that I do in helping parents and helping people reparent themselves, reconnect with the places within them that were hurt and sad and disconnected, there was something that people used to talk about saying, oh, help your child soothe themselves. So what I know without question is you cannot help a child soothe themselves if they don't know what it feels like to be soothed. Am I right? Right? You hear this, oh, like have their child, like this is really important for them. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. So these tools that I'm sharing with you, and I've got more, But these tools that I'm sharing with you in this time together is to help you have an entry point into really reconnecting with yourself. Because if you don't have that connection with yourself, you're going to be blown about by what the external circumstances are, by other people's behavior, right? You'll be at the effect of, because in truth, we can never change another person. We can even, like with our children, we can influence them. That's why nurture nature, it's so important to remember that, because it's both. They come into this world with, I like to say, a certain curriculum, certain tendencies. And then we, as the architects of their brains and helping them regulate their nervous systems, which we get to do with ourselves, we get to help influence who they'll be, how they'll be, what choices they'll make, and then they're going to make their own. So today, the word that I want to speak with you about is, yes, is C. So we did PEAC. So I bet you think I'm going to talk about compassion, which is something I often talk about for the letter C. But what I'm going to talk about today is curiosity. When something happens, it's really helpful to get curious, which is why it's helpful to understand the layers underneath the anger, as everyone is posting. Thank you for your comments. They are really valid and revealing and great. So, very thoughtful, right? So, we've all heard about the unexamined life is not helpful. Like our invitation is to examine our life, but we are our life. All of the experiences that have happened form our life. They form the beliefs that lead to actions that lead to our emotional state. So, curiosity. Curiosity means when something happens and we're flooded, when something happens and somebody says something, like Beverly wrote about her teen. So, what's really helpful is to get curious, even with a little child, if you have a little child in your life, to help them engender critical thinking, which is thinking based on their own sensibilities, not what somebody else tells them to think. When you get curious, it's about, I'm noticing, right? I'm noticing that you are blank, blank, blank. I'm seeing your jaws tight. I'm seeing that you're rubbing your eyes. I'm seeing you're pulling your hair. I'm seeing your, walking, your shoulders are really tight. So you get curious. So are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling sad? So you don't do it all at once, but you also, yes, you also turn that on yourself. Oh my gosh, when you notice, right? You notice, oh my gosh, I'm having a size 10 reaction to a 3 situation. So you can feel like right now, I'm going to tell you that our dog, I shared with you that our cat made his transition the other evening, and our dog seems to be having some gastrointestinal issues. So he has had us up and taking him for a walk throughout the evening. So right in this moment, as he's standing next to me, and whining, I can feel myself getting a little dysregulated, because my intention is to reveal more love and truth with you and to be fully present. And I can feel there's a part of me that is just like, go away, not now. I'm with my people. Just hang on. So I'm going to get curious. So what's coming up for me is, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't want to disappoint you. I want to make sure that you get everything that you possibly can. So when you leave today, you have those tools more embodied. So I get curious. When have I felt like that before? Well, I felt like that before when I have had other situations where I've been invited to speak. I felt that way when I have one-on-one clients and I work in my home. I have a home office, right? So what can I do? What is the soothing technique that I can do? I can put my hand on my heart, which I'm doing, and I can say, I am with people who understand this work. I don't have to pretend to be in a different place than where I am. And I also know my dog is safe. My dog is loved. My dog will be addressed. So I can breathe slowly. I can feel myself coming back into my heart. I can do what I showed you the other day. I'm rubbing my arms, right? So I haven't flipped my lid, just so you know, I haven't done that, but I can feel a sense of tension in my body. So I'm just breathing, and I'm going to say something to my dog just right now. I'm going to say, it's okay. I'll take you as soon as I can. So now I've addressed the situation. I've narrated what's going on for me. I've gotten curious, right? That sense of what's underneath that is, I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want that to happen. I want to make sure that you receive what you need. Because in order to embody inner peace, we cannot pretend. We can't pretend that my dog isn't whining over here. I can't pretend that I'm feeling in that moment like, oh my goodness, oh my dog, oh right now. I can't pretend that I don't have a home office where this happens. That was my intention, to have a home office. I have other intentions, but that was one of my intentions. So I am living fully present, fully available, and I am comfortable with you knowing what's going on with me. Is anybody curious? Does anybody have a question about what I've shared? If you have, put it in the chat and I will respond. Come here, buddy. Come here, sweetie. I'll just wait another couple seconds and see. Okay, well, I'm going to move on. So the other quality that I am feeling in this moment is gratitude. I'm so grateful that you all, thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. I'm grateful that I have cultivated, and it's a cultivation, that I've cultivated emotional intelligence. Because, yes, because I'm not one dimensional at all. I am fully engaged in life. And it is my desire to pass this on to other women and mothers who are also fully engaged in life. And there's no reason that any of us need to pretend. And what happens is when we don't get curious, what we do is we cover up. We cover up. I'm fine. It's good. I'm good. Have you ever talk to somebody who's going through a situation that you know about, and you'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine." Well, ultimately, in the absolute, in the bigger picture, that's true. That is very true. But in the day to day, that is not, as Carol wrote, authentic. So it's not about hunkering down in a feeling of hopelessness. It's not about giving your power away. But the only way you truly have power is through the power of the pause, is through the embrace, is through feeling your feelings, feeling that anger, allowing it to be okay to have anger. If you can't have anger, you also cannot have joy. It's not a one or the other, right? It's all of it. It's the full spectrum. It's anger, it's joy, it's expectation, it's curiosity. Getting curious. What's going on? What's happening? I'm seeing certain behaviors. I'm seeing a tight jaw. I'm seeing, pursed lips. I'm seeing crossed arms. I'm seeing stomping. I'm hearing. So I'm wondering, are you feeling sad? Are you feeling lonely? Would you like a hug? So that ability to connect with somebody will only occur when you engage in curiosity, because the opposite of curiosity is judgment, right? Anybody here ever judge anyone? And I also want to give you the disclaimer that I am talking about all of this in every situation, but I'm also not saying that you stay in a situation where your physical safety or your emotional safety is in jeopardy, right? You understand that all of this is important, and so is taking care of yourself. But then the after part, the aftercare of getting yourself out of a situation where there may be some emotional or physical danger, is also the curiosity, and is also staying out of the judgment. There is a very natural tendency for humans to observe, to judge. So there's a big difference between observation and judgment. So if you've been around for any period of time, you will have amassed certain awareness about people's behaviors. And when you start to see them, you can connect the dots and say, I know that behavior. I've seen that behavior. So when I see that behavior, I get to leave. I get curious. So I'm not going to judge them, because if I judge them, then I'm not connected, which is part of the curiosity. You are connecting with your wisdom. You're connecting with this awareness within you. So, what will disconnect you from curiosity is judgment. And even when I really can identify, Shaddai said, and I'm guessing you're saying you judge yourself the most. I know I have always been really hard on myself. And I also know I came by that through my own childhood, but it's something that I watch. I watch. When am I doing that? Because I have such keen insight and such keen perspective. And I have been around and immersed in very many communities. So I have emotional shorthand that I know when I notice things. But what I get to do and what I practice all the time is curiosity. What is this here to show me? Why is this situation here again? This pattern. What is this pattern here to teach me, to show me? What can I learn from this? That's also part of the curiosity. So, what we've talked about today, again, is revisiting permission to have your anger, getting underneath and noticing what's under the anger. And then for this C in peace, getting curious so you can connect with your wisdom. And then I've had the lovely opportunity to model what happens when I start to feel dysregulated. So I will make sure that you have this recording. It has been a joy and a delight to be with you. Tomorrow is day 5 of this journey together. I look forward to having a beautiful closure with you. And I'm also going to make sure that you know you have a way to connect with me if you are interested in having a deeper dive. So all this and more is yours, is available to you. I wish you a beautiful and blessed day. Peace and many blessings. Bye for now.